Hello, hello. I'm Melissa.
And I'm Donna.
We're here sharing what we've learned as women, entrepreneurs, and moms.
All while rocking our curves with confidence.
It's a behind-the-scenes look at our lives and businesses.
And a chance to tell our younger selves, go do the things that scare you.
Most embarrassing moment. How did you overcome it? Oh, man, you go first, because...
By far, this will always be my most embarrassing... Well, I hope by far this is always my most embarrassing moment. And I was standing there. I was in my 20s.
Oh, you were young?
In my 20s.
Oh, I thought it was recent. That's even better.
Standing there in the hallway with two of my male bosses, having a conversation about some paperwork that was due. And my one boss, so I had one boss, he was very quiet. Like, if you got 10 words out of him in a week, it was a lot. And the other one was opposite. He was like,
talk.
Bouncy and all that. And he could be very anal and condescending and whatever. And so you had to sort of learn to keep a tough skin with him. And so we're standing there and he keeps looking at my breast area and he goes, and I look down and my underwire is sticking out through my blouse. Half of my underwire is like there.
You like it?
And I look down and I'm like, I pull it out, I stick it in my papers and I keep going. I said, well, I guess I don't need that. And I just shoved it in my papers and I kept talking like nothing ever happened. And I went back to my desk and I was like freaking mortified. And that was the last day I ever wore an underwire bra.
Oh, they're the worst, man. Sorry, they're the worst. I think I have a wire. Now I'm worried.
Never, ever.
Like you feel it and it's like it's moving. It's like more to one side and then you're like
I will
adjusting.
duct tape my boobs before I wear an underwire bra again.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. For me, I think it was recently. Actually, really recently. I probably had a few of them, to be honest with you, in real estate. But the one that I remember the most is I used to tell this story about an agent and she said she came in one morning. I was a receptionist. So I was young. So like 97, 98, 99 before I was licensed. And she's like, oh my God, I had the most embarrassing thing happen to me at work this weekend. And she goes, I went out to dinner last night, went to the movies, got home really late, and I was showing early in the morning. And I said, oh yeah, what happened? She's like, I got up, threw my pants on, went to this house, and I'm showing this house. She goes, it's vacant house. I go, like my clients go upstairs, then my clients come downstairs, and we hit the staircase, and there's a pair of underwear on the staircase. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, my client says, oh, how did those get there? And she says, I reached down and grabbed them. She goes, they were my underwear I left in my pants. Like I threw, like in the morning, they were stuck in her leg. And I can remember this story. I remember the agent's name. I won't have to say her name. But I was like, oh my God, how embarrassing is that, right? So I was out showing recently to a client. Friends of mine, thank God they were friends of mine, and I was not in a rush. I was probably just there, and I'm at the house and I'm like, what's this in my pants? And I went like this in front of them and I pulled my underwear out of my pants. I was like, oh my God.
And it
I'm
happens right when they're in the laundry and it gets stuck to it.
What the heck? And I was like, I've told that story a million times. I'm like, karma is such a bee. I said, what the heck? And I was like, oh my God. And I looked at my clients and I'm like, good thing we're like family, okay? And I just put it in my pocket. But I think that would probably be the most embarrassing thing at work. But I'm sure I've done a million.
Yeah. I'm sure. I mean, especially period stories,
oh
like
my God,
right, like that haunt you until you don't have them anymore. I tell you, the other day I was thinking, I am so freaking glad I am done those.
Oh wow!
But because you spend your whole life with those embarrassing stories.
I think the youngest I remember when I got my period, I was so young. I think that was probably the most embarrassing.
And we've just lost all the male audience listeners because we started talking about
periods. That's right. But I remember being like very young and going to Leon's with my parents, and I remember just not feeling good. And I remember going to the bathroom, and I was like, "What the hell?" I'm like, oh my God, really? My mom's like, it's okay. But yeah, no. I remember the first time I got my period. I remember that feeling embarrassing at that moment. But I was also really young, right? I felt young at that time. I don't even know what young is. What's young? I don't know. Everybody goes through it differently, right? So no. I am sure I've had quite a few, like falling down the stairs at work or the slippery.
We were at a concert in Sarnia, and it was called Bayfest, and it was the best weekend of music that there was, because Centennial Park had like a berm, a horseshoe shaped berm, and the stage was kind of at the front, and so no matter where you sat, you had a great view of the stage. And it's summer and you're just sitting out on the hill listening to it. Well, I had Bailey with me. She was young, so it was Bailey and my girlfriend and I want to say it was a country-ish one, because we had pink country or pink cowboy hats, like straw cowboy hats, but it was raining, so we were in stuff, and I'm in white pants, and I get up to go get something, and I slide down the hill. My ass is so caked in mud in these white pants.
What do? You just
and
rock
I'm like,
it.
well, it is what it is. Now I have straight pants. Yeah.
And I think that, like, now in life when things happen, that was where I'm kind of like, yes, I get embarrassed in the moment, but I'm just like, you know what, is what it is. When I was younger, it was always like
mortifying.
Yeah.
And I think you get better at just laughing at yourself.
Yeah. I think you can laugh more about yourself when you're younger now. I was at a party at a friend's house, and he had like rented like this big sumo inflatable thing, and people were like fighting and stuff like that. And
how fun would
it was cool. He rented, it was inflatable. I sold the guy's house. Anyway, it's the guy who I went to visit on Friday. Actually, his daughters are playing hockey. His now daughters are 15. And I was like, when did your daughters become 15 and 14? Because last time I saw them, they were like 7 and 8. So I remember the plastic chairs. I'm sitting in the plastic chair, and there's people around. And I remember talking to them, and I can remember, I still remember the feeling, looking at the person and then doing this. And the whole leg fell, and the whole chair went. And Paul always says, he goes, Melissa, you remember that time? I go, yes. At John's house, when I fell over like this, and the whole chair went down. So every time I sit in one of those silly plastic chairs, I'm like, make sure the legs are straight. Mm-hmm. There's certain things I do remember, but no, I think in real estate, probably I've fallen quite a bit down the stairs or tripped. Like, you're like,
well, it's a new place.
Yeah.
Right here.
Or you're wearing like slippery socks and the stairs are carpeted, and you're like, oh, don't go down those stairs too fast or whatever. But no, for me, it was that underwear took the cake for me, because I talked about it all the time. And then I was like, look at this. Karma's coming right back around, because I told that story a million times. Like, get Melissa. I was like, son of a gun.
I had another one where we were doing a launch. And so our launches are live.
Yep.
And it was our last launch of the year. And we were into the, Christmas in July, or our Christmas giveaway, 12 days of Christmas giveaways. We were kicking that off. So it was an important one. So we're running around, getting everything ready, and we go live, and I'm like introducing our last leggings launch, and I look down, and I am not in the right pair of leggings. I'm in the wrong pair. And I'm like, ta-da! Well, this is what keeps it real, right?
What would you tell your younger self about things like that? Like embarrassing moments. Like, if you could go back, and what would you tell yourself? It's just in the moment. It is what it is. Like,
I think you learn to laugh it off.
You have to, man. You have to laugh it off.
You can't be
in your head about it.
Yes.
Because if you're head about it, you're like, oh, it would just fester.
Because it shows others that you're adaptable. Like that broth. Like, I was mortified.
That's good.
Right? And you just
take that with
keep going. Just keep going. Like, just pretend like that never happened.
And there's going to be lots of things that happen that you feel embarrassed about.
Yes.
Like, I think
like,
you want to lose the audience now. Talk about having kids. That takes away
any sense of privacy,
You're like, this over here, do this, do that. I remember when I had Nathan, I had emergency C-section, and the nurse I went to high school with. And I was like, her name was Shauna. And the doctor's like, okay, Shauna, you can prep Melissa. And I was like, prep me? And she's like, yep, we're going to shave it up. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, really? Here I am, a girl from high school. My legs are open. She's shaving my chotch. I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, Shauna, good thing you and I were friends. Like, we weren't like enemies or anything like that. But that you just, I think like that, you're like, oh. Fuck, man.
Yeah,
like,
that is nice not growing up here. Although I did have that kind of happen. I had breast tissue stuff going on. And so I had to go to this doctor, and I get there, and it's the coach,
Oh my God.
not the coach, the parent of one of the kids on my daughter's soccer
Oh
team.
my gosh.
And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like I have to look. So yeah, right. Like, so I can't.
There we
I
go.
came home and I said to Sean, so and so on Bailey's soccer team. He goes, yeah. Her dad felt me up today.
What do you do, man? Like, what do you do in those
Right,
situations? You
yeah.
just gotta run with it, right? You're like, okay, this is what it is. I think that though, those situations help, right?
Yeah, finding your humor.
You have to, man. I was just like, really? My legs were like, I'm like,
Because
oh my
it's
God.
everybody. It's not just you.
No.
And I think in the moment you feel like you're the only
is
one,
just you.
like you're an
So
idiot or whatever it is, right? And it's like, hey, keep it real.
I know.
Keep it real.
And that too, like going back to your authentic voice, you're like, this is just who I am. This is just what happened. This is how it goes.
How
This
do you
is
like
the
me
realness.
now?
Yeah. Ass on the floor, boob hanging out, whatever it is, it just is what it is. But yeah, I think we go through a lot of embarrassing moments. But keeping it real, like you said, and being authentic to who you are, all comes back together, right? It just
And being okay with,
is what it is.
with being you.
Yeah. Shit
And if you don't
happens,
like
man.
the you that you are, then change.
Yeah. Yes.
Because you're the one that can do that, right? Find that authentic voice that brings you happiness and brings you that bit of confidence to get you there.
Got to do that. It's
Yeah.
important. So important, Miss Donna. Don't waste your time in comparison.
Let's talk about comparison mode and authentic voice. Because I think too, because of social media. Interesting. If we were younger with
Glad
social
those-
media, because
oh.
we did not have social media.
Nope.
How would that have influenced our authentic voice? Or do you think it does influence?
I think it does. I think for me, social media has given me a little bit more strength in my voice. I wish I had that when I was younger, in the sense that we have more representation today of myself and my body type. It's nice to see other people that look like you and know that we are all people and we all exist in different body types. When we were younger, I don't think we saw much of that. So I think social media then would have helped me see more of myself. We talked about weight, and we talked about feeling the first time you kind of felt weight. And for me, it was that ski story, weighing myself to get my skis. And I was, talking about it the other day with my sister-in-law. And I said, I remember being like grade 5 or 6 and like standing on the scale and being like 92 or 95 or 97 pounds, something in the 90s. And all my girlfriends were like 50 pounds. And like, I felt like I was the only one, but it was just like I was 20 kids in one school. But, if there was more of that, or I would have seen more, like I've been this height since grade 6. Like I've been 5'9" since grade 6. I was a model. Like I modeled when I was in grade 6 because I was this tall. I was center in basketball because I was this tall. Like I played on the volleyball team because I was this tall. Like I was in a bigger body, but I felt like I was the only one at that time. Mm-hmm. Right. So would social media have helped? Yes. But I honestly don't like the advancement that we know everything, or we feel we know everything in social media. Like, I think there's so much out there that is seen that we don't need to see on social media. I wish it was just more positive. Maybe I wish it was I was more represented when I was younger. So,
which our sources of information would have been magazines.
Yeah.
Right? Like it was all...
Are you crazy? There was nothing in a magazine
Nothing.
that looked like me.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Not in the Sears catalog that came.
No, and it's like you're in grade 7 or 8 and you're looking at buying women's clothes when your friends are all buying, kids clothes, and you're like, what the heck? And mine was because my legs were longer. My feet were like, I was just like size 9 at that age. Like, that's huge feet for when you're little. Now my feet are like 11 and they're still big, but I'm like, there's other people. Like now when I look on social media, there are other people that have like a size 12 foot or an 11 foot. And so that stuff, I think it would have helped me. But I like that it kept my innocence. Like it allowed me to have more of a childhood.
Kids today.
Right? Like,
there's so much available.
Like Could you
can't filter it
imagine?
all.
Could
No.
you imagine all the stuff our parents would know? Like, no, I'm glad my parents don't know the stuff that I did. Not that I did a lot of bad stuff, but there's a lot of stuff I've kept private from like my teenage years. And I feel good about that because it was my decision. But now it's like they can't do anything.
No.
And they don't, half of them don't want to do anything. Half of them are all on there showing everything anyway. But, so yeah, I think that maybe social media would have helped in some respect, or like, even if it wasn't social media, like I said, more representation of myself in the media when I was younger. Because even going back, it's crazy. Even going back, I watched King of Queens. I don't watch that show anymore. I'll tell you why. Because Paul and I, we like go back and watch episodes, right? And so I said, let's start it from the beginning. And like the first 2 episodes talked about her being fat. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, what? I watched this show? And I'm like, oh yeah, like Kevin James, I know it was the show, but they were talking about, I think, was her name Leah Remini or Remini? It was talking about her being like fat in it, and I was like, what? Like, it just like blew my mind. I'm like, what the heck? Like, the amount of stuff we watched when we were younger, and that representation when we were younger was always about certain like body types or looking a certain way or being like dressing a certain way or being more feminine, whatever feminine is. I don't even know. Like, I look back now and I'm like, I can't believe I watched that stuff. And I think that over time it's changed my perception. Like, social media and the media's like changed what my view of that stuff is, right? Like I said, I see more representation of myself out there, and it makes me happy because you know what? We're not all the same. And when we were younger, I felt like we all had to be the same. We all had to be this size, or we had to look like this. We all had to dress the same. Like, it was not much out there. But now it's like, nah, this is who we are. This is who I am. This is what I do. This is how I talk. This is like, that's why there's millions and millions of people in this world, because we're not all for somebody, right? Like, you may not like me. That's fine. But you don't need to like me. Yeah, I like me, and I like who I am, and you want to be my friend, that's good. If you don't want to be my friend, well, go talk to somebody else, right? So, yeah, I think for me, it would have been it's a teeter. Like,
there's the good and the bad with it.
And I think there's so much like craziness with it now that it's crossed the line. Like, it takes away all of that innocence. Like, how young do people or do children look at social media now? Like, really, truly, honestly.
Oh, yeah. Like, young.
Like, I opened my Instagram the other day and it now says there's controls for teens. Like, now? Like, I think my son got a phone when he was 13, and my son's 20 today. 7 years ago, he was on like Instagram. Like, really? Like, now you're installing these like parameters and these controls for teens? Like,
And you think of the mistakes you make as teenagers, right? Like, in that
but you're
learning
supposed
phase,
to make them.
You are, right? Like, you are learning all the things either you really want to do or you really don't ever want to do again.
You're learning
right?
who you are. You're learning to
Yes.
find your authentic voice. You're learning what you like, what you don't like. You're learning the type of people you want to be, like hang out with the person you want to be. It's so much. But when it's all there, it just like
it never goes away, right?
Yeah.
Like, any of those mistakes you make.
I wouldn't want to be a teenager today. I'm being honest with you. I don't think I'd want to be a teenager again. I'd want to go back to when I was a teenager and maybe redo some things, but
But then would you be who you are?
No, of course I wouldn't. And I don't know if I'd really want to redo them. Maybe I'd want to react to those situations how I would react today back then, more than change anything. Maybe it's like I could have done it differently in terms of how I looked at the situation. You know, reflecting back to younger self and being like, oh yeah, I would have told my younger self that. I wish I could go back and tell my younger self, like, it's okay. There are people in this world that look like you. Just keep being you and don't worry about the noise, right? So maybe that's what it is.
What would you do different? What would be that thing? Mine is a resounding. I would use the word no. It's like, no, this is not happening.
What would I do? It's a hard one for me. I don't know what I would do differently. I think that I did a lot of things. I don't know what I would do differently. Because I really don't look back at my life and want to change anything, because it's made me who I am today. right?
Very
So
much.
there's, like I said, maybe would be reacting to the situation differently as opposed to doing something differently. Maybe saying no, like you. I think I'm a yes person. I say yes to a lot of friendships that maybe weren't serving at that time.
But I think in those years, like
It's hard.
that is the goal, right? Is just to have friends. Like when you're a teenager,
Yeah.
like that is
Like I'm thinking now,
life
like
is friends.
one of the biggest things I always say, maybe I should have gone into marketing, but then I'm like, yeah, but then if I went into marketing, then I'd be in a marketing career, right? Then I wouldn't have said no to human resources and got my real estate license. And then I wouldn't have met you or the people in my life. I wouldn't have started life when I did. I wouldn't
It's the Wonderful Life movie that we watch every year with Sean. That's his Christmas one, right? And that's the message, right?
Yeah.
Like you go through all these things so you can find you.
Yeah. So it's hard. Like, yeah, there's so many things I think I'd want to change, but then I'm like, but what if I change them? What would be different? What would be different today? My life would be totally different, right? I always said I wanted an apartment when I was younger, and I wanted to, not have kids young, and I like all these things. But then I'm like, I wouldn't be 46 today with a 20-year-old and a 22-year-old. And I wouldn't feel like I have this second wind in life where I can do some things. And like, it's hard. Like I look at my brother and my sister-in-law, and they're a little bit younger than me, 42 and 43 or whatever they are. And they have a 3-year-old. And I'm like, sorry. I'm like, nah, I want to sleep at night. Like I remember being 21 or 22 and thinking, wow, it's so hard. Like you got to be up at night. And I lost it. Like, not that we lost a lot of friends, but we were the first people to own a house, and we had all these parties and people always hanging out at our house. And then when we had Nathan, it was like we had SARS, even though SARS was really around, but it was like, oh my God, you have a kid. We can't come over. We can't see you. We can't be friends with, like, not that we can't be friends, but like that shifted. So I didn't lose a lot of friends, but it was just like a different shift. But now I'm like, no, you have babies or you have little ones. So I don't think I would change anything. Like I'm very honest even with the kids about that, saying that I didn't want kids till I was older, but maybe I shouldn't have been partying when I was 22 years old and get pregnant, right? Like I don't know. Like I don't regret anything I've done in life. I don't think I'd really want to change anything, because then I wouldn't be exactly where I am today. I think it all the time. I do think it. I'm like, what if I did this, or what if I did more? And I'm like, but then I wouldn't have made these choices. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing.
And I think to my younger self, it's kind of like, hey, it may suck right now, but it's going to get better.
Yep.
And
yes.
this will help you get there.
Yeah. Just, it's a, like you say, chapter. It's one little chapter. It may be hard for the next.
I heard someone say that recently. I think it was on the news. I was like, oh yeah, right? Like, it's so very true.
Yeah. One little chapter of your life. And you know what? It's going to be hard for the next 6 months or the next year. You're going to want to hate everything. You're going to, like, it's going to be hard, but just think on the other side. Yeah. If you didn't go through that then you wouldn't be the person today, right? If we didn't feel the way we felt about our bodies or our relationships or our friends or the things we were doing, then we wouldn't be here talking about it today, right? Like, what would we be talking about? Oh, life is so good. We're this, blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't know. For me, I don't ever really regret anything. I would just like to maybe change how I handle the situation, but then it wouldn't have made me want to change how I handle that situation and be a different person. So it's hard. Yes, I would tell my younger self that it's going to get better, that things will change, that you will see more of you in the future, that this is just one moment in time. It's okay. Like,
keep going, girl.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Do the things you love. Like you say, it's okay to say no.
And enjoy, right? Like, how many of our stories are around laughter?
Yeah.
And the good moments.
I think those outweigh the crap moments by far, right? So many good moments in life. I was watching my wedding video. My mom was watching my wedding video, and I hate saying it. I feel like it's the video of death, right? Like we got married young, right? And we've lost so many people, even friends in that video. And I'm just like, I think I would tell my younger self that you have so much time in life. There's so much time, more time than you think. Like, when you're going through that, like so young, like getting married and doing that, you're like, oh, I know it was our generation, but it's now. We got to get married, got to have a house, got to do all that stuff. And then I look at my son Nathan and Lucas, and they're 20 and 22. Like, I was engaged at 19. I was married, mortgaged, and pregnant at 22. And I'm like, wow. And then I look at them and I'm like, yeah, do the things you love to do. Enjoy the minute, like enjoy the time, enjoy the moments. Like Nathan said, can I go to Montreal? Go to Montreal. Like, do more of that kind of stuff. So, it's nice to see that. And that's what I hope to.
But don't be living on your mama's couch for too long.
No, I know. But they will be forever. So I get it. I get that. But it's true. Like, I think I would tell myself that one thing I would really tell myself is that there's so much time. Like, I joke with the boys and I'm like, I could still have a baby. And they're like, what? That's so gross. And I'm like, yeah, but I could. Like, I really could have a baby. Like, your dad and I could have had a baby in the last one.
Imagine?
No, imagine nothing. I don't imagine that. I don't want that. And then I think, yeah, I wanted kids when I was older, like 35, but then I'm like, I'd have had a 10-year-old now. I'm like, whoa, that's hard.
I couldn't imagine going through parenthood at my age. Like, I'm exhausted as it is, let alone with kids. Like, I'm glad I did it when I did it. That was my time.
And that's right. It's your time. And that's the thing. Like, my time was when it happened. It just is what it is. And everyone goes through it at a different time if they're going through it or if they don't want to go through it. And if you don't go through, hey, man, all the power to you too. Like, I don't care. Kids, no kids. I think everyone has a different view on that. I think sometimes those views change too. Like, when you're in the midst of it and you're like in a relationship, like, I know someone very, very close to me that got married and then they were 1 year in and they got divorced because they were like, she's like, I don't want kids. Yeah. And he was like, I want kids. And she was like, I don't want kids. And I give them a lot of credit for taking that. As hard as that separation step is, they were like, this is not what I want. And good for them for doing that, because that's
when you
like,
can't really reconcile.
No. Yeah. No. And for me, I would just be like, realize how much time you really do have in life. Because I feel like we talked about chaos last week or the week before, but that's the chaos. Like, you're just going and going and going and going, and everything's building up. And then you're like, I feel like I didn't live in the moment when it was going on. Like, maybe I lived in the moment, maybe I didn't realize what was going on, but I didn't really fully enjoy each moment. Like, it was just so busy. Like, take a minute.
I kind of feel like the chaos is the energy.
Yeah.
Right? The energy that you just go. And then, sometimes you just run out of energy.
You lie on the couch and you have ice cream.
Yeah.
But no, I think with that, like, for me, I don't feel like I lived in every moment. I think I just was like, that was the day. Mm-hmm. Like, this is the process. You do this, you do that, and you go on with it. It's hard. It was hard. It wasn't easy. That's for sure.
And it never is, right? Like, everybody has a different story. Everybody has a different journey. Everybody has the ups and the downs in a different moment. And, as much as everybody's story is a different story, you're never really alone.
You're not alone. And that is another thing, I guess. We talk about it, comes to me, but that's one thing I would tell my younger self, is that you're not the only person who's going through it or has gone through it. There's other people that you can talk to. And I think that, going back to social media, is where you look at it and go, shit, that's where I wish I had it. I wish I saw another mother that was not wanting to be a mother that day, or that was having trouble with their kid going poo, or whatever it is. Like, those things, I wish I saw more of that, because you can read that in a book, but unless you're seeing it like human to human, you don't realize, like, anyone can tell a story, right? But when you see it, you physically see someone going through it, you're like,
you make a connection.
You're like, that's it. So that's where I wish I had social media as a mom more than anything. Find your community, right? Mm-hmm. It's a hard place to be in. Motherhood's great. Also sucks. Sorry, that's the truth for me. It's hard. I found it hard. And I don't realize that till now. I didn't realize that till now, how hard it was, because I felt like out of all my friends, I was the only one having a kid. I was the only one. All my friends were like getting jobs, going to university, blah 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 blah. Me, having kids.
I think I was later. I was on the later spectrum, where my kids or my friends were having kids earlier. So I was a little bit behind, which was good for me.
Were you really behind? No. No.
Yeah.
Probably right on
I couldn't
time.
have had. I didn't want to have children, so
I know.
the fact that I did was good. No regrets. No regrets.
Not at all. Not at all. Like being with the boys yesterday, we were that when my dad's birthday was yesterday. So we had a brunch with Lucas and my dad, and my nephew was there. Nathan was there. My mother-in-law was there. Even my sister-in-law's parents were there. They're here from Colombia. They leave next week. And we were all there. And it was so nice to be there with the boy, like my boys, and just like laugh like adults and like have a good time. And this joke, my mom made soup on the weekend, and every time someone would come in, she'd ask them for soup. And I'm like, Mom, it's 10:30 in the morning. Who's going to eat your fucking soup at 10:30 in the morning? Stop asking it. And my brother would look over me, he goes, did you want soup? And I'm like, no. Did you want soup? And then Lucas came in, and I said, Lucas, when you come in, I go, ask Grandma if she has soup, right? So it was like 11, like quarter to 11. Lucas walked in, Grandma, do you have any soup? And she's like, shut up. And I was like, so it's nice to be able to like joke around with them and have that kind of fun time with them. So I enjoy those moments. Now I enjoy it a lot more. When you're younger, or when you're going through the midst of little ones, whatever age they are, it's like every age feels hard. Like my sister-in-law right now, my nephew's going to preschool, like a French preschool. And she's like, oh, it's so hard some days. Like he doesn't go to school, he cries. And then my brother's like, I worry about the stuff you're going through, Melissa. He goes, small kids, small problems. And I'm like, yeah, but it's just at that age. I was too, like, you don't know until you go through it. And even my friend on Friday, I remember we had a little bit of distance between us at one point. And it was because we couldn't afford to go to his wedding. Like his wedding was a travel wedding. And he was like, oh, he got upset about it. And he said to us the other day, he goes, Melissa, I'll never forget you saying to me, like, you don't understand what we're going through. He goes, and I never did until now. He's like, you just don't understand it. And I said, you know what? Like, it's not that having kids makes you understand things differently. It just makes you understand a life with kids differently, right?
Yeah. And you have to live with some grace and understanding for others.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't know what people are going through, especially people can put on a brave face and they got a whole bunch of crap going on.
I think a lot of people do. And I tell my kids that, though. And I think you've probably told your kids that, too. That understand that, you never know what someone's going through. You don't. You really don't.
No.
And I think the people who put on the bravest face, and I've done it, and I admit to it, you just smile and you go through the days, and you go home and you're just like, fuck, man, just take it all away, man. Yeah. Take away everything and just make that happy. But it's part of life, right?
It is.
It's not easy. But that's why
it's not easy. Being green. Little Kermit. Little Kermit to end the day.
Kermit the Frog. I love. Wasn't Jim Henson's birthday the other day?
Oh, was it?
25th, I think it said. Fun and games, my friend. Fun and games. Oh, well.
But you think, like, what a happy life that would be to make all those Muppets. But I'm sure, like, he
had hard times, too.
Right? Like, that was industry like no other. Category 1 right there.
Fraggle Rock.
Yeah.
I was talking about Fraggle Rock the other day. Polka Dot Door. Oh, like, even those shows aren't on TV anymore. I wish those shows were on TV. I try to find the stuff that our kids, like probably your or my kids, watch for my nephew. Because a lot of the stuff now is like all like animated. There's no like I don't find a lot of people shows.
Mm-hmm.
Like
seriously.
Yeah.
That's why my girlfriend said just the other day, she got a mug from her niece. It said, Mr. Rogers did not adequately prepare me for the neighbors that I got. For the neighbors in my neighborhood.
Very true.
Oh, that's so true about so many levels, right?
I loved all those shows. Polka Dot Door, Today's Special. Like, there's none of that. Like, as a kid, you'd run home and watch all that. Like, it'd be dinner time and, there's like Today's Special. And
one of my favorites with the kids is Bear in the Big Blue House.
Oh, don't even say that. That was my Nathan.
Oh, no.
It was Bear, Bath, and Bed. Or Bath, Bear, Bed. We had the 3 B's in our house. Triple B. It was always Nathan, like, welcome, welcome, welcome to the big blue house. And then he'd like sniff. And then Nathan wait. And he'd like get so excited. And they'd be like, oh, so
those are the
good.
Best moments, right?
Right, yeah. Oh.
Ours was snuggling in bed, reading a book. Oh. Carter would he would have his bath, and then he had these little old man pajamas, with the wide pants and the little buttons up the front. And we'd get into bed, and he'd crawl into Sue Snoo. Sue Snoo was his favorite book. And
can you believe they were that small?
I know.
Like, where does that time go? Like, I know I looked at Lucas today. I posted a picture of Lucas.
That's like 25 years ago. Oh my God.
Yeah, there's so much time in life, right? There's so much time. Understand and think of everything that's happened in that 25 years. I tell the kids that all the time. I'm like, you're only 22. Like, there's so much time in this world. Use the time
To find your authentic voice. Yeah.
Yeah. Just enjoy all the moments. Do the things you want to do. Do it with like happiness. Like, there's no rush. And if you do it, whatever, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Thank you for joining us today at the Nucking Futz podcast.
If you like this podcast, please share by liking and subscribing. Feel free to leave any comments and reach us at hello@thenuckingfutz.com.
Just a reminder, this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. If you are struggling, know that you are not alone. Please reach out for professional help.
You can join our newsletter at thenuckingfutz.com to follow our journey. Looking for Donna at work? You can find her great leggings and leisure wear as well at She's Got Legs.
Looking for me, Melissa Hall? You can reach me at Brag About It Jewelry or I am Melissa Hall for real estate.